Good morning, everyone. Today is 23rd May 2020, and here we are. COVID 19 cases are rising. We have recorded single most rise in a day yesterday, and still having a positive outlook for tomorrow, and hoping that more better and sensitive India will emerge after this. Let's begin the editorial analysis for today. So, the first article here is Time After Time. So, this article is in the context of the role of the RBI, which it plays for the economic revival of our country. RBI, which is the Central Bank of India, it has a responsibility of bringing the country out from the economic paralysis. And this time also, yesterday, it came out with a slew of measures to overcome the difficulties and the problems which are arising in the Indian economy due to COVID-19 lockdown. So, RBI here, the points included in the announcement are, the first one is it has cut the repo rate to 40 by 40 basis point. So now the repo rate stands at 4% and the reverse repo rate stands at 3.35%. So what does that mean? So the term repo rate means the rate at which the banks in the country borrow money from RBI. So what happens, RBI खुद तो पैसा बांटते रहता नहीं है, तो RBI पैसा lend करता है banks को and banks then lend it to the consumers. So if RBI is cutting rate at which the bank borrows money from RBI, then obviously banks जो हैं वो जो वापस लोगों तक लोन पहुंचाएंगे वो कम रेट पे पहुंचाएंगे. सो RBI का ये रेपो रेट कट करने का मेज़र यही होता है कि जो पैसा है वो कंज्यूमर्स तक जाए, वो सिटीजन्स में जाए, ताकि जो डिमांड है वो इंक्रीज़ हो सके. एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड रेपो रेट का मतलब क्या होता है, मान लीजिए कि कंट्री में बहुत ज़्यादा इन्फ्लेशन हो चुका है, लोगों के पास बहुत पैसा है और जिसकी वजह से इन्फ्लेशन इंक्रीज़ हो रहा है, इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ रहा है, तो तब क्या करेगी RBI? तब RBI पैसा खींचेगी इकॉनमी से. सो व्हाट इट डज, इट विल इंक्रीज द रिवर्स रेपो रेट. रिवर्स रेपो रेट का उल्टा, जिस पे द रेट एट विच RBI बोरोज मनी फ्रॉम दी बैंक्स. सो वहाँ पे अगर RBI को, और अब आप सोचेंगे कि RBI को क्या ज़रूरत है पैसा बोरो करने की, बट RBI पैसा इसलिए बोरो करती है ताकि जो एक्सेस मनी है इकॉनमी में वो खींच सके. ओके, सो इन्फ्लेशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए RBI पैसा बोरो करती है, बट इस टाइम इन्फ्लेशन नहीं कंट्रोल करना है, इन्फ्लेशन लो लेवल पे है, तो इन्फ्लेशन कंट्रोल करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, यहाँ पे लोगों तक पैसा पहुँचाने की ज़रूरत है. दैट इज़ वाई RBI हैज़ कट द रेपो रेट. So this was the first point. The second point is the extension of the repayment moratorium on loans. So what happened after COVID-19 lockdown? गवर्नमेंट बिजनेसेस जो थे वो बंद हो गए. सो लोगों के पास पैसा नहीं था कि वो लोन रीपेमेंट कर सके. नॉर्मली जितने बिजनेसेस होते हैं वो लोन लेके ही बिजनेस खड़ा करते हैं एंड सम सॉर्ट ऑफ दे हैव टू पे सम सॉर्ट ऑफ लोन. सो व्हाट हैपेंड आफ्टर लॉकडाउन, RBI अनाउंस 3 months moratorium on loan. व्हाट डज़ दैट मीन कि आप 3 month तक जो EMI बनती है लोन की वो आप पे मत करिए, एंड वंस द इकोनॉमिक स्लो डाउन इज़ eliminated and your businesses will start, then 3 months के बाद जो आपका जो लोन का जो पीरियड है, जो टर्म है, दैट विल बी एक्सटेंडेड बाय 3 months एंड उस पर इंटरेस्ट ज़रूर लगेगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो आप अभी पैसा नहीं दे रहे हो उस पर इंटरेस्ट नहीं दोगे, बट अभी आपको देने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. अभी कोई अथॉरिटी वाला आके आपकी प्रॉपर्टी को सीज़ नहीं कर रहा, और इसी मेज़र को RBI ने फिर से 3 month के लिए बढ़ा दिया है. तो इससे क्या होगा, जो भी बोरोवर्स हैं उनको 3 month का और टाइम मिल गया है टू स्टार्ट देयर बिजनेसेस एंड कीप देम रनिंग एंड देन पे द EMI ऑफ द लोन. द थर्ड पॉइंट इन द अनाउंसमेंट वॉज द इंक्रीज इन ग्रुप exposure limit for banks to 30% from 25%. This will help large corporate borrowers who may find themselves handicapped in raising funds from the market now. So पहले क्या होता था कि बैंक्स जो थे उनके ऊपर एक लिमिट लगा हुआ था दैट यू कैन ओनली लेंड 25% ऑफ योर कैपिटल टू वन बिजनेस हाउस. But now RBI has relaxed this norm and it has allowed 30% of the capital to be lent to business houses. So यहाँ पे भी RBI ने थोड़ा relax किया है norm. So overall, all the three points in the RBI's announcement is a welcome step, and it will eventually help India to revive its economy. And कुछ economists, जो section of economists हैं, वो इस पूरे मेजर से इतना खुश नहीं है. दे आर सेइंग दैट RBI को थोड़ा लोन रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग में भी रिफॉर्म करना चाहिए था. उन्हें ये प्रेरोगेटिव जो है वो लेंडर्स को दे देनी चाहिए थी कि वो अपना लोन रीस्ट्रक्चर कर सके. लोन रीस्ट्रक्चर का क्या मतलब होता है कि मान लीजिए कि आपका लोन 1 साल के लिए. अब नाउ बिकॉज यहाँ पे इकोनॉमिक स्लो डाउन हो रखा है, लोग काम नहीं कर पा रहे, कहाँ से मान लो कि 1 साल में उन्हें लोन रीपे करना था बट अब वो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो लोग क्या कह रहे हैं कि RBI को इसमें भी रिफॉर्म करना चाहिए ताकि जो लेंडर्स हैं, दैट इज़ द बैंक्स एंड द नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल कंपनीज, दे कैन रीस्ट्रक्चर देयर लोन. वो अपना 1 साल से बढ़ा के 1.5 साल या 2 साल कर दे लोन रीपेमेंट की टर्म, या कुछ लोन रीपेमेंट की जो तरीके हैं उसमें चेंजेस ला सकें. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू माई ओपिनियन RBI ने शायद ये जो रिफॉर्म है ये आगे के लिए सोच रखा है, बिकॉज इट इज़ टेकिंग स्टेप्स वेरी कॉशियसली to revive the economy, and maybe RBI has left all these reforms to be taken after assessing the situation. So this ends the article 1. The second article is cold neighborhood. So India and Nepal must not let their differences grow into a full-blown diplomatic crisis. So what happened between India and Nepal? Recently, Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, he inaugurated a motorable road to the Lipu Lake Pass, which is very near to the disputed Kalapani area. And on this, the Prime Minister of KP Sharma Oli has showed a very aggressive posture. So, Kalapani issue is a boundary dispute issue between Nepal and India. Recently, after the reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir, India created its political map, and it included Kalapani territory in its own territory. So, Kalapani issue एक बहुत emotive issue है between India and Nepal. In British time, when the boundary between India and Nepal was demarcated, what happened then? महाकाली रिवर जो वहाँ पे थी कालापानी टेरिटरी के पास, उसको बाउंड्री माना गया इंडिया और नेपाल के बीच में. बट उसके ओरिजिन को लेके इंडिया और नेपाल के बीच में टेंशन रहती है. नेपाल से वेस्ट में मानता है, जिसकी वजह से कालापानी टेरिटरी उसके टेरिटरी में आती है, और सेम हमारे साथ है कि हम उसे ईस्ट में मानते हैं, इसलिए हम कालापानी टेरिटरी हमारे में आती है. एंड इन द करेंट सिचुएशन इट इज़ मैन्ड बाय इंडो-तिब्बतन बॉर्डर पुलिस. सो Kalapani has been a very important, has a very strategic role for India, because it includes Lipu Lake Pass, which has been used by India for traveling to Tibet. And in 1981 also, when China started Kailash Mansarovar Yatra through Lipu Lake Pass, Lipu Lake Pass and the Kalapani territory has been vital for India for connectivity to the Tibet area. So चाइना के साथ तो हम इस चीज़ को मतलब बना चुके हैं कि जो ये लिपू लेक पास है वो इंडियन टेरिटरी में, ये रीअफर्म किया गया था 2015 में, और 1954 के एग्रीमेंट में भी था ये. तो अब यहाँ प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि रिसेंटली थोड़ी इंडिया की भी इसमें गलती है. पिछले साल नवंबर में नेपाल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ओली, he wanted to talk on this issue, and he proposed to send a political envoy to India, and India rebuffed this idea and did not accede to this idea. So अभी क्या हुआ है, वहाँ पे काफ़ी प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा है, क्योंकि कालापानी एक बहुत ही मोटिव इशू है नेपाल के लिए. वहाँ पे बहुत सारे नेपालीज रहते हैं. तो नेपाल जो कह रहा है कि It is saying that the areas in the Indian territory that have been claimed by Nepal invoking the 1816 Sugauli Treaty. तो नेपाल 1816 के सुगौली ट्रीटी को मानता है और इसकी वजह से वो कहता है कि काला पानी टेरिटरी जो है वो उनकी टेरिटरी में है. इंडियन रिस्पॉन्स किया इस चीज़ को लेके. India's Ministry of External Affairs described this thing as artificial, unilateral and unacceptable. So because of which the tensions have been increased between India and Nepal, and boundary disputes are a very common thing between two neighboring nations. It has मतलब हमारा थोड़ा भूटान के साथ, म्यांमार के साथ, चाइना बांग्लादेश के साथ, सबके साथ था, हमने कहीं ना कहीं सेटल किया. और चाइना और पाकिस्तान के साथ तो बहुत ही बड़ा बाउंड्री डिस्प्यूट हमेशा ही रहता है. बट हम अगेन मेरा यही पर्सनल ओपिनियन है कि कोई भी बाउंड्री डिस्प्यूट है, हर गवर्नमेंट को ये कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि जितना हो सके, जितना पॉसिबल है उतना इस चीज़ को सॉल्व किया जा सके. द थर्ड आर्टिकल, lower the temperature and diffuse the issue. The third article is again on India-Nepal issue, which has been mentioned in the second article also. So here the editor is saying that the trouble between India and Nepal, it must be handled bilaterally and through quiet diplomacy. So here, after the inauguration of a road from Dhachula to Lipu Lake by India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Nepal has claimed that the stretch passes through Nepalese territory, and because of which tension between India and Nepal has risen. So now the editor explains the Nepal's stand here. First of all, he is saying that KP Sharma Oli, who is the present Prime Minister of Nepal, he wants to hide his government's incompetence and failure to meet the basic needs of the people, and to divert the attention away from the rising tide of opposition from within his own party. So that is why he is putting such remarks on India-Nepal issue. Second topic on which he talks about is the Sugauli Treaty. So what happened in 1816 after Nepal lost the Anglo-Nepalese War in 1816? The Sugauli Treaty was signed, under which the Raja of Nepal he acceded all the territory, the whole of the lowland between the river Kali and the Rapti to the erstwhile East India Company, and because of which the Kalapani territory was ceded to the East India Company. And after that, in 1857 war, when Jang Bahadur Rana helped British East India Company in 1857 war, he was rewarded by transferring many territories, but even then also the British did not return any part of Garhwal or Kumaon, including the Kalapani territory. So at that time India did not exist. The all major boundaries between India and its neighboring countries were decided by the erstwhile East India Company and the British regime. So here the editor is saying that India inherited the boundaries of British India, and it cannot now unravel the historic past. So every problem needs a solution. So here also India and Nepal have tried to resolve this issue. In 1981, the Nepal-India Technical Level Joint Boundary Working Group was set up, and by 2007, this group completed the preparation of 182 strip maps, which comprise almost 98% of the boundary issue. Only two areas were left out, that were Kalapani and Susta. So India has solved many boundary issues with its neighboring nations, like recently through its 100th Amendment Act passed on 15th May 2015, India resolved the border issue between India and Bangladesh. The maritime boundary issue between India and Bangladesh was much more complicated than India-Nepal issue. So India at that time India agreed to go to the Hague-based Permanent Court of Arbitration, and even when that court ruled in Bangladesh's favor, and about 4/5 of the Indian claimed territory was lost, India accepted that ruling and settled that dispute forever. So this kind of attitude is necessary, is needed in India-Nepal issue also, and India should resort to high-level talks here also, and should solve this issue as early as possible. India-Nepal ties have always been very unique. India and Nepal have always respected each other and have always acted as responsible neighbor to each other. Jawaharlal Nehru wrote in The Discovery of India as well as in the Glimpses of World History that Nepal has been the only truly independent country of South Asia. And Nepal has also responded to India's need as a friendly neighbor always. In fact, only time when India deployed foreign forces on its soil was when in 1948-49, when India was facing huge trouble in Hyderabad and Jammu and Kashmir area, and India has deployed forces there. Then in 1948-49, Nepalese soldier under the command of General Sharda Shamsher Jang Bahadur Rana, they came to India's northern cantonments to guard the India's northern border. So India and Nepal have a very, very close relationship. The people to people relationship between India and Nepal is unmatched. It's only the government to government relation where somewhere India and Nepal lacks, and in fact nobody in India wishes ill for Nepal. So the recent announcement of India's Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Mukund Naravne that that Nepal is acting on someone else's behest, like he was pointing here towards China, that the opposition of Nepal on the road inaugurated by India at Lipu Lake Pass was on someone else's behest. So this has heightened the tension, and India and Nepal should use its existing mechanism to deal with all boundary matters. India and Nepal has always been a very good neighbor to each other, and India and Nepal both, they cannot afford to have trouble at this time. So the more the trouble festers, those who stand to gain by deteriorating India-Nepal relation will benefit. So there is a need for the two countries to lower the temperature and diffuse the issue. They must invest time and effort to a solution. Raking up public controversy can only be counterproductive to the relationship. So the third article here also ends, and with this today's analysis on editorial ends, and thank you for listening. And if you guys find my channel productive and informative, then please do subscribe to my channel, and all your suggestions are welcome. Thank you.